Oh. All right, guys. Hey, welcome back to another amazing show. Gene is really bummed out because he wanted to tell me something private behind the show before we went live. But this is the Real Estate Uncensored Marketing Roundtable. And we are going to have an amazing show for you guys today. But before we do it and before I enter my incredible co-host, here is our intro music. All right, guys, this is going to be an absolutely incredible show. I am looking forward to this. We're going to talk about real stories. We've got Nick Sakis, Jake Wolf, and Gene Volpe here with us. It's going to be fun as all hell. We're all in a weird mood. So, Mr. Gene, how are you, brother? Welcome to the show. And, God, you look extra bald today.
I'm doing good. I'm nice and tight today. Usually when you say that to me, I haven't shaven. I haven't had a shave. Wait, what kind of shave?
Hot shave.
Where's it at? You got it? You got
it? I got it somewhere. No, I did have a hot shave this morning, Gino. It was good.
I thought you were going to bring the bottle. We were going to do an inside commercial. Greg, you're lucky. You're lucky I didn't get it in. I was ready to tweak your nipples, boy. I was going to get you all fired up.
That sounded so weird on so many levels, but we're going to let that go.
Okay.
Good thing you didn't get it in. Anyways, we're going to move forward on that conversation. Jake Wolf, how are you, brother?
Good. I'm good. I'm in this mode of it's time to stop talking to the sheep and start calling all the wolves.
Dude, I was actually on a call with Terrence Davis and a couple of his boys this morning on a prospecting call, and dude, those guys are out there just crushing. They're hunting like they are a pack of wolves just out there hunting down their prey. And I think we all need to do the same thing. And I want to tell a lot of stories, but we have to welcome in the most beautiful man on the entire show, Mr. Nick Sakis.
I'm glad you finally said that on air. I mean, it's something we talk about a lot off air and in private messages, but I'm very happy that it's finally been said.
When he started that, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna bring me up twice." Amazing.
I'm doing fantastic.
We should take a poll on this shit, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh. There should definitely be a poll here.
There should be a poll. How many female viewers are watching because of the big guy?
Zero.
No. Okay.
Oh, well, because of our poll comments and everything else, all the girls are like, click delete. Okay, bye-bye. But you guys are three incredibly handsome men, very successful, powerful individuals. And we're going to be talking about real stories in real estate, kind of some badass crazy stuff that you guys have experienced, seen, done, some of the crazy stuff. So who wants to go first on this? Because I have a lot of stories and I would love to hear you guys. So, Nick, you've been in the business for quite a while. Let's start with you. What's some of the craziest stuff that you've encountered in the industry and kind of how we can leverage all this stuff? So we'll tell the stories. Let's leverage it all back to a marketing opportunity that you can then get additional clients. So Nick, lead us off, my brother.
Yeah, so I think it's a really interesting topic that nobody really talks about publicly, right? So if you go to any real estate conference, any real estate seminar, even a broker's open, a luncheon or whatever, and you get 10, 20 realtors around each other, there's ultimately going to be stories told about a recent transaction, right? A recent story or something that had happened to them in the past before. And so what I'm doing with my clients right now is all of those stories that you would tell one-on-one to another agent, like something that we might share on this show. I might call Greg and be like, dude, you're not going to believe what just happened to me this past week. Taking those stories, like that is the meat and potatoes of what you guys do and what makes you guys great that nobody ever talks about because you're so embarrassed or I don't even know if that's the right word. You're afraid of not looking like the true professional, if you will. And so like having this demeanor or having this profile online of like, you have everything under control and nothing ever goes wrong and feel the message that you're giving to your clients or anybody out there is like, I can take care of anything and handle anything. Well, if you're not telling the story of why or things that happened and how you resolve them, then the public just thinks nothing ever goes wrong in a transaction, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you can probably poll 10 or 15 people just on the street, go to your local grocery store, and most of them think that real estate is easy unless they've personally had a nightmare experience. And that's a small few amount of people. So if the mass majority of consumers think that doing a real estate transaction is easy, especially in this market when things are going for overbid and everything, like what's your value as a real estate agent? So if you're not portraying that message, if you're not telling your stories of how shit just went sideways on this last deal and you pulled in this person or whatever to make this a closed transaction, and it doesn't have to be the hero wearing the cape, but it's just telling the story. People relate with the story of how you got that done. And I promise you, if you start thinking about your content in a way that portrays exactly what you do, like don't hide what you do, you're going to look like a superstar. And there's some agents and markets that are doing that and are having great success.
So let me ask you a question. I'm going to kick it over to Jake and Gene. Like yesterday, I did an Instagram post, and give me your thoughts on this, gentlemen. And it was I just did a post on Instagram saying like, hey, working from the pool today, super hot. What a great life. I'm summarizing here, but I mean, Nick, is that something that you're kind of talking about in regards to kind of being authentic and being real and just not having to be high and tight? Because I literally got dozens and dozens of comments, well, about my tattoos and
your
everything
mustache.
Else.
Your mustache?
This is called a beard, sir.
No.
This is called a beard.
Yesterday it was a flagrant mustache. It looked like you were chewing. It looked like you were chawing yesterday. I couldn't figure out what was going on, but you had no glasses on, and I said something's going on with his mustache.
I actually did eat part of my mustache. That's not a joke. But it's really not a joke. But I mean, is that something you're talking about, Nick? Like being authentic and real, not being so high and tight?
No.
Oh, well, okay. And that's the wrap on the show, folks.
He wasn't paying attention, apparently, Zach.
No, so if you are sitting at the pool and your shirt's off and you're saying, this is what I'm doing today, and oh, by the way, here's a funny story that happened last week. Now you're relaxed, you're in your element. It's literally communicate, because what did that communicate to me, right? Now, if we were to dissect that and look back and say who really liked and shared and commented on that pick, how many of those people were realtors?
Actually, a large amount of them. Honestly.
Exactly my point. We don't want other, like you do. You are a talking head, host a show, like you have a big realtor following. We want consumers and sellers to reach out to you. So if I'm a consumer and I see, I'm sorry I set you up for that, my bad. But
yes, you did.
if I see that my real estate agent that I just had a transaction 20 years ago, and I know that real estate agents are making $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 commissions, and this jerk off is by the pool talking about sipping on a beer in the middle of the day, and I'm in between my work shift, and I checked out on social media, I'm like, fuck this asshole, right?
I never said I was sipping a beer. I just said I was in the pool.
So I'm just putting it in perspective. Now, if you're in that scenario and you're doing that thing and you're like, man, I just worked 7 days in a row or 10 days in a row. I haven't had a day off. I'm finally by the pool in my element. I love this place. Let me tell you a recent story that just happened with me this past week on one of my transactions.
Right. Okay. I see.
Totally different shift in, and now you're able to bring that relationship in with people. Yes. So does that kind of,
I can't believe you put words in my mouth saying that I was drinking a beer in the middle of the day. I surely was not, sir. But okay. I was drinking bubbly water,
an alcoholic-free beverage.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So look, Jake and Gene, let's take this scenario and let's break it down. Jake, you've been awkwardly quiet, and when you're quiet, I know you're studying people. When you study people, I know you're hunting them. When you hunt them, there's going to be an interesting outcome.
Somebody's going to die.
Yeah, someone's going to get an airstrike. Jake, if you guys can't see him, he's sitting there just looking at us like, you guys are a bunch of fucking idiots. But okay, I'll deal with this. Well, how would you take that comment? So let use the scenario of me next to the pool, using what Nick said in regards to how I should have changed my verbiage and my description. How could you use that as leverage to tell a story to the consumers where they can relate to it?
Okay, first of all, big shout out to Terrell. I saw his Facebook post, and it's funny, right? Because he went ahead and said something. He said, I went back to my actual video repository and I took a look at the last 3 years of stuff that he's been actually putting together, but he hasn't went ahead and released it. And he's been hearing it and hearing it and hearing it and hearing it, so much so that now finally he's starting to go ahead and get his video legs underneath him and not worry about putting out some of this information. Okay, so customer journey on the line, ladies and gentlemen, right, is a know, like, and trust journey. It's very important. Gaining attention and awareness from these different people, getting those folks to know you, like you, then trust you to go ahead and do business with you. So regarding your information, Greg, you sitting by the pool on a hot day working there, I'm a big fan of consistent content, right? So that was necessary. Then do some more, blend it in with educational consumable content like Nick is talking about. Share positives, negatives of transactions, because all of those things, especially the negative type stuff, is a learning experience for every single person, right? So what's crazy to me is real estate agents know they need to be doing this, but don't. So think about that for a minute.
Okay, so let's break that down for a second. So one of the things I use, my friend, her name is Coach Monica. You can go find her anywhere, and she has a company called Ghost Poster. And so it's like $200 a year. So it's very affordable. And what she does is she sends you one post that you can put on Instagram and Facebook stories, and it has to do something funny about either real estate or just something interesting out there that get interactions. One of the things that we're doing a lot is that I'm doing one post a day about myself. Like I did a post this morning, and it was I thought it was funny because I was walking my dog, and I said, I don't know who's walking who right now, but I feel like I'm getting walked. And people have been hitting me up on DMs about it all the time. Then I'm going to do something about a funny post about real estate. You have to stay relevant.
There's the ghost.
Squirrel.
The damn dog's chasing a fly. Fucking dog. Robert, don't eat the flies. But as I digress, Gene, stop shaking your head at me. My gosh.
Christ. Get rid of
that. You got to clean the shit off the floor. There wouldn't be flies in the house.
Hey, I have to leave the doors open because it's anyways, we're moving forward. But I mean, the thing is that staying relevant and being out there and telling these stories about real estate, where would that limit lie in your gentlemen's opinions? Like, what is too much to tell people? What is too little to tell people? And why are people afraid to tell anything? So whoever wants to go on this one, please indulge me, because actually I'm personally interested in kind of how to create more content.
I know people are afraid to divulge information about themselves just because of what other people are going to think about them. We still get in our own way. I mean, you got to get to a space where in order to be an effective marketer, especially on video, you have to sort of not give a shit what people think. I mean, go ahead. What were you going to say there? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to say this. I think Nick has done probably one of the best jobs I've ever seen do this, because Nick has, if you guys aren't following him, please go follow Nick Sackis. That's Sakkis. And he has been in a weight loss program that he's been doing quite a bit. And he has been so open. He took photos of his body, full 360 degrees. He talked about his struggles, his ups and downs. And Nick, I have to tell you openly on air that I applaud you more than you probably ever know, because your vulnerability on that is something that 99% of the people will never do. And that's what holds a lot of people back. But when you did it, what was the response that you got? Did you get any negative feedback? Or did you get all positive feedback? Walk us through that, because I mean, that is way bigger than just showing my open house or what I do for a living. You are putting yourself out there in every way, shape, or form.
Yeah, no negative feedback besides the negativity in your own mind, like Gene said. You get this, and that's just anxiety in general, right? Public speaking is one of the biggest fears people have in their entire life. And public speaking is no different than being on video. I actually, for some people, I would argue that doing video, especially live video, is even more nerve-wracking than public speaking, because you get zero feedback.
Yeah.
Right. That fear of doing video, the reason why you have so much fear of video, mostly from just the feedback I've gotten from agents and people that I coach, is you need that consistent feedback. It's why you can have a conversation with somebody, but it's why you can't just turn a video on and talk to a camera, because you say something and the words leave your mouth and then you don't know if it's funny or not because you don't have the reaction of the other person. So it does take a little bit of time and practice to get the confidence to be able to have words leave your mouth and know that it's good shit and just let it land and then keep going. So that's where I usually tell people to just record themselves on a daily basis and just know in their heart of hearts they're not going to publish it, right? Hit the record button every day for 30 days until your heart doesn't flutter at all when you hit the record button. Then you're ready to start posting. So there's that interim phase there of practice that everybody has to go through. I'm no different. People see me on camera. They see you guys on camera. They're like, oh, man, if I was only like Greg, you know, Greg's just great on camera. Well, Greg wasn't fucking great on camera the first time he turned it on. I guarantee you. I wasn't either.
That was horrible.
Right? So we've gotten to a point now where everybody knows they should be doing video. They know they've missed the bus as far as the practice, and now they're not doing it because they feel like they've totally missed. Okay. I'll throw this out there. Are you guys, because we're in the marketing realm, right? Have you heard of Morning Brew newsletter?
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. How old and antiquated is the idea of a newsletter? If you were a business and you were thinking in your mind, if I'm going to start something in 2020, what could I do? Oh, well, Greg, I think we should start a fucking newsletter. You'd be like, what are you talking about?
No.
Newsletter? They came on the scene so fast and so furious, and now everybody has subscribed to Morning Brew on an antiquated fucking idea that you'd say is 25 years old, 30, 40, 50 years old. So if you're in right now and you haven't done video because you think you've missed it, if Morning Brew can come out in 2020 and fucking go bonkers and have a multi-million-dollar valuation, you still have time to do some video, guys. It's not too late.
Okay, so I have an idea, Nick. You just spawned in my brain, and Jake, I want you to jump in because you're starting to creep me out because you haven't said a damn thing, which means there's a sniper somewhere in my vicinity.
Hey, look, I'm being polite, Greg. I'm being polite and letting Mr. Nick go ahead and speak.
What about doing a digital newsletter that you put together? It could be a Facebook group, but you do a community-based Facebook group newsletter that you get together with your Chamber of Commerce. And you get these different businesses on. Everyone's used to the camera. I mean, yes, they might be afraid of the camera, but they get the idea at this point. But what about doing something along those lines? So you don't have to print it or anything else, but it can be more of an interactive, Q&A type of environment. Instead of telling everybody about how great you are, but it's about telling how great everybody else is, but allowing people to bring Q&A into it. I mean, is that something that would even be something that any of you three would be interested in even working on? Because I kind of like it. I mean, it is my idea, but it doesn't really matter.
Greg, so what you just went ahead and covered is another form of a vessel of communication that can carry consumable educational content out to the marketplace. Okay. And then it's about what in the hell are you going to say on it? And what is your hook? What is your unique selling proposition? What makes you different? So Sergeant Wolf over here, right? And Clever Leads and our marketing mechanisms love all forms of communication. They are vessels that go ahead and carry out consumable content. Consistency is very key and it's necessary. So I want to hit on something that Mr. Nick went ahead and said. He was talking about fear, right? Fear of sharing, fear of kind of putting yourself out there, right? It's not just you. There's a lot of people. Look at all the folks right now in society that have a lot to say, but are fearful to go ahead and stand up for reprisal of their opinions, right? There's many different industries. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of people are hypercharged, and everybody's got some sense of fear of rejection, of putting themselves out there, fear of losing what they have right now. You need to change the channel, ladies and gentlemen. If you have something to say, if you have something passionate to go ahead and say it. Don't worry about the 2 or 3 people that sit there and radically object you. Carry the message out to the people. Same thing in business, right? Every single thing that you can possibly think of. Newsworthy, pressworthy, hyperlocal information, current events, new construction, things going on in your town, detours, new flights leaving, all of the stuff that is newsworthy, pressworthy information. Maybe you should go ahead and share that. Be a vessel. Be the people that are bringing the information to the folks. Now, we're talking about two different types of suggestions here. One was personally putting yourself out there and sharing some intimate moments of who you are and what you do. Okay, that's a personal choice, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to go there at all. It's where you can keep it A+ grade professional, sharing content that is very focused on business, educational, consumable content that is in the buying, selling process, and also other different things. You don't have to go personal. Keep it professional. It's a style, right? And it's completely up to you. However, all of these suggestions do not remove you from not being a voice. Okay. So if you like something, if you're passionate about something, if you have something to say, if you're emotionally charged, I urge you that your tribe needs to hear what you have to say. Go be bold, go be blessed, go be unstoppable. This is the United States of America. You have the ability to go ahead and do anything you want, and you are your own restrictor plate. So now it's time to stand on the darn throttle.
You know what, Jake? I have been working with you for almost 2 years and change at this point, right? And I think one of the things that you say all the time is be unstoppable, go, charge hard. I think people don't understand that verbiage, that vernacular of charge hard, never be unstoppable, and go out there and just do it.
Come on down to Florida and see me on the weekends.
Yeah, trust me, guys. He'll ride you. He'll go on a Harley ride with his leather vest in the rain with his beautiful wife that he did the other day.
And chaps,
assless chaps, by the way, assless chaps. But I mean, the thing that, all jokes aside, the real thing here is like when you say charge hard, most people take that like, oh, charge hard. Okay, I don't know what that means.
It's cute, right? That's cute to a lot of people. If you grew up when I grew up and you drank out of garden hoses and you heard
I did that,
you would totally understand it.
All of us are nodding our heads like, yeah, we did that. Totally.
Let's not focus too much on
what happened to the garden hose. I don't think, I say that. I don't know if my kids have ever had water from a garden hose. That was a normal thing.
That's a daily thing. Are you kidding me?
Normal. That's it. They're getting sprayed when they get home.
All right.
Well, look, we as a society have gotten to. Let's talk about this for a second, okay?
Yeah.
Talk about some things that have happened to each and every single one of us, even us folks that are a little bit older and getting gray hairs. Okay. We've gotten into.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, we've gotten ourselves into a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where now we live in this digital world and we're hiding behind our social media and even the pictures that people shoot, or they don't want to hit those raw moments, right? And we're kind of we've been trained into this cyborg world of culture.
Highlight reels.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So I urge you to go out and shake somebody's hand. I urge you to go out and say hello to people. I urge you to get out and go get involved with your local community. Get involved with the school boards. Get out of the house. Go hang out at happy hour, have a cocktail, and say hello to 2 or 3 new people and introduce yourself. Okay.
That's an interesting idea, Jake.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It's crazy. That sounds so crazy.
But what if we do this? Why don't we do a 30-day super real life post on social media? Like when we're having a bad motherfucking day, we sit there and say, I'm having a bad motherfucking day. Here's what's going on. Like Gene and I did a series of posts, staying handsome. And what was the other one, Gene, that we did in 2020? You're on mute, buddy.
Challenge the lead.
Yeah, challenge the lead. That was, I remember those.
This is my thing. Why don't all of us go out there and do a challenge to lead post once a day? And let's talk about some stuff. Like this morning, dude, I woke up, I was stuffed up, felt like crap, and I went for a 4.5-mile walk, took my dog to the dog park, but I went out there and because I didn't want to do it. My hips are hurting me, my back is hurting me, all kinds of shit's hurting me because my girlfriend made me do a stupid ass workout the other day, and I'm still sore. But I mean, what about doing the challenge to lead stuff? But why don't we do it in an infectious way into your community? So instead of you being the mouthpiece, why don't you get the other local businesses, your competitors, everybody out there in inspiring their kids, their family members, their spouses, to lead in one shape, way, or form. Like if they're a good cook, good swimmer, if they're a good whatever, dude, why don't we start taking back the power from our minds and put it into action and inspire other people who may or may not like what we're doing, but they're going to be inspired because they're taking action. Then they'll take action.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're very distracted in a lot of ways, right? Gene,
well,
go ahead.
Kim Kardashian's ash is very distracting. Yes.
Oh God. How do you follow that? I don't know how you follow that.
Balls.
No, so you just took me totally off track there. I had something really good. I think yesterday, I met with a real estate agent, and he was like, I don't like posting stuff on social media because I don't think anybody cares. Right. And I was like, why don't you stop telling other people what they want to see from you and what they don't want to see? They'll be happy telling you, right? So, like, who were you talking about before that has been doing 3 years of content, just started putting it up there?
Terrell.
Yeah. So I know for a fact, because I've done this, I've proven it out, that I say some stupid shit and I say some dumb just ask my wife. We go to events and she's like, did you just say that out loud? And so I know I get in trouble, right? But that's sort of my style. Like there's no filter. It's all transparent. What comes out of my brain goes right to my mouth. And I'm the same guy. Like when I started doing, Greg, you remember we were like thick as thieves going through the first couple days of the 30-day challenge. And I was like, nobody gives a shit what kind of beer I'm drinking. Yeah. Until I started to realize that people were reaching out to me because they cared what kind of beer I was drinking. It was really weird to watch the fact that I was in my own, and I'm a confident guy. Like I'm not one of those guys where I'm like, I don't have anything to offer anybody. Nah, dude, if you listen to me, I can help you build your business. I know that for a fact. And I'm a good dude. I'm a loyal cat. I'm a good dad. I'm a half decent husband. Like I'm a good brother. I'm mediocre at all these things, but I know that you can pick some stuff up, right?
Hey, first off,
what?
Stop the fucking verbiage on your mediocre. You're a fucking phenomenal human being on every single level, and you do the best that you possibly can. So don't ever fucking say that you're mediocre.
Greg, thank you. I would like to say to you, I just baited you into that. I appreciate that. I am well aware that I'm a fucking.
I would say, Gene, you have room for improvement.
We all do. That's true. Jack Fox.
Charge hard, Gene Volpe. Charge hard.
What he's saying to me is, charge harder.
Yeah.
You're not charging quite hard enough. But listen, I think just to close the thought process out, I think people get in their own way and they allow themselves to dictate what other people want to see and hear from them. I say, put your information out there and let the people surprise you and go. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with people where they're like, I watch your content. I love what you do online. And I'm like, you're boring. You must have no life, but I totally appreciate that. And of course I don't say that, I love that. It humbles me, man. I love that stuff. I love it that you watched my take on one little thing and that you thought enough of me to watch that for 4 minutes. And it makes me want to give you more of that. Right. So stop getting in your way and stop letting your own doubts tell yourself what people want to see and hear from you. Put it out there and then let them tell you, because I promise they will. And you'll see it. 0 views, no likes, right? All that stuff. And then you'll see other shit where it's like 750 responses. People are sending you private messages about it. Like, do you remember the video I did this was a while back, and I titled it was a clickbait video I did, and I titled it why I'm glad my dad died 28 years ago. Do you remember that video?
I remember that video 100%.
And I was in my car, and I knew that I would get the attention of people because people knew how much how close I was to my father. They all know my relationship with my whole family. So that was like, wait, he's glad his dad died? No, you didn't read the whole thing. And the message was, I was glad that he died 27 years ago because it could have been 37 years ago, right? And I got a chance to spend a lot of my life with him. I was 20 when he passed. My brother was 4. So, like, if you look at the two of us, my brother got the shit end of the stick, not me, right? So I just posted this video, and I was like, nobody wants to hear it. I don't really care. Nobody's going to have anything to say. And within an hour, I had 40 private messages. You have girls that rely on you. Put your goddamn seatbelt on. And I went back and looked at the video, and I was driving without a seatbelt. But it opened up so many conversations to me. If I would have thought to myself, I'm not going to put it out. Nobody cares what I have to say about my father. And then I got those comments too. Like, your dad was a great man. We loved him. He was so much fun. Like, you get all that stuff. But I got some unintended consequences of it too, where people were like, hey, and of course, if you're smart, you flip that around and you go, Nick, you're right, dude. I should have. It was just a quick movement. I jumped in the car. Had to get home real quick. I wasn't really thinking about it. I was thinking about making the video. You're right. I wear my seatbelt all the time. But in the meantime, we haven't talked in a while. What have you been up to? Yeah. Right? Like, that started the conversation from a video that most people wouldn't have done because they thought nobody gives a shit.
But you also, I need someone to watch all of my lives to make sure I have my seatbelt on. So make sure that's you.
Yeah. There you go.
But I mean, the good thing about that, by the way, Nick, I think you're coming through not your good mic. I think it's switched. I don't know how.
Can you hear me now?
No. Are we on a Verizon commercial? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Tap on it real quick. I just want to make sure. Yep, they're coming through it.
All right.
But I think what Gene's talking about is really honest. I mean, when it comes to, like, I did a post about when my cats died, and I was friggin' heartbroken because I had to kill my cat December 9 of 2020.
Kill your cat?
I was gonna say, that's a weird way to say it, dude. You don't say it. Well, no one ever says I had to kill my cat. It's I have to put my cat down.
Well, room for improvement.
Let me shut up, all of you. You guys are killing me. So here's the reason why I say it like that is that I did a post about having because both of my cats, and they're sitting right there in their boxes, their urns, and they have all their toys around them. And I went in there 2 years, almost to the date, and I put a post about having to kill my cat because I was his dad, and I'm gonna put him down because he's my boy. And I posted that. God, it was heartbreaking, but the interaction I got from that being real and authentic was more valuable than anything else, because guess what? I wasn't selling you something. I wasn't trying to be fluffy and nice and cute. I was going through a fucking shit stain, of a day. And my next day, December 10th, is my birthday. So I had to kill my cat the day before my birthday. I sat out front of Trader Joe's and I cried my eyes out before I did it. And I talked about that story. Gene, if you fucking laugh, I will literally fucking smack you.
You won't do shit.
I have something to say about this.
Go ahead, Jake. I'm sorry.
A lot of people can go ahead and relate to that emotional moment that you went ahead and had. And it's heartfelt.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us go through it, especially that are parents of pets, right? There's a lot of people that are going through a lot of things right now, ladies and gentlemen. Think about the conversations you're having inside your own household. Other parents are having those same conversations with their children. Think of the things over the last couple of years that have affected the way that we all conduct our human life business here in this country. You can get relatable. You can go ahead and share your opinion. We have that right here in this country. You can go ahead and get out there and be bold and be blessed and be you and find those folks that relate with you. Let your voice be heard. How many times have we heard that?
A lot.
We have the right and freedom of speech in this country. Be bold, be blessed, be stoppable. Unstoppable. Right?
Unstoppable.
Yeah, be unstoppable. So these are the things, right? Don't let fear stop you from starting to do the necessary things to be a blessing in your business.
Jake, here's a takeaway, right? Don't let your own personal perception on something take over what other people like. So Gene said specifically, right? Because the conversation you have with this agent, I don't think anybody's going to listen to what I say on social media. Your personal belief systems is now overshadowing the real truth, which is people love to hear from you. But because you might personally not care about Facebook, you might personally not care about TikTok, you might think it's the stupidest thing in the world because all you know of it is dancing teenagers and you don't want to be associated with that. You're robbing yourself for letting other people see who you are because of your own personal beliefs.
Nick, explain that a little bit more. I mean, I think you just touched on something super powerful, because a lot of people are afraid of being seen, of who they are. So how would you get out of your way on this, and how did you get out of your way when it comes to your weight loss and your journey on that? Because you took a bold stance on this, and I think a lot of people would love to learn how you mentally got over that.
Well, I just went through it. Like when you guys were just talking about that, I haven't posted a health related update in like 2 months. I basically took the summer off. So I went 12 months of consistently posting every single week, every other day almost, of some sort of health related thing, all the way up into losing 178 pounds. And then I just dropped off a cliff and stopped posting because I was kind of tired of it. And I thought that people were tired of hearing me post.
No.
Like I literally just went through this, and it was a couple months, and I've put some weight back on, but like, not like in a, oh my God, I need, therapy kind of thing or anything. It's like, I was just enjoying the summer. We went on vacation a few times. Like I just wasn't as strict on my healthy routine as I had been for the past 12 months. And I literally posted on Monday of this week, hey guys, like go to my Facebook page, and there's literally hundreds of people. I posted like, I thought you guys were tired of hearing about me, but I'm back. I'm ready to get back focused again and lose another 50 pounds. Like hundreds of people commented, we can't wait. We missed you. We wish you, like all these things that I had built up in my mind. Like people don't want to see me with my shirt off anymore. Like it's so played out. I did it for a whole year. Like who wants to see that anymore? And as soon as I post one thing back, it's like, come on, we need more. Post every single day. We missed you. Like, so get out of your own belief system. And I know personally, because I'm introverted, as much as you might not think I am, the way that I post and stuff, when Twitter first came out, I'm like, who the fuck wants to hear about what I had for lunch? And that's the response of most people. Like, who cares? Who cares about, like, it's not about that. Remove that aspect of it. It's a form of communication. It's a platform for communication. And like the magic is in the mundane, right? You probably heard that before, but the true, the way people are going to come to you, the private messages that you get, if you literally want to be that person to get come list me leads, like you have to be present on these platforms, because that's where people's attention is. And I guess I shouldn't say I'm not biased, because I do rely heavily on Facebook, because that's where most of my clients are. But if I had a different business, I'd be more reliant on TikTok or Snapchat or maybe email or like whatever. You have to know each platform and what it's good for. But man, it as soon as you can get out of your own way and remove that fear, amazing things can happen. And the magic is in the mundane, man. It really is.
Let's talk about some psychology around this. So here you are posting. Don't be the person that just sits there and says, "Ooh, I got 5 thumbs ups and 1 heart. I'm never doing this again. Slam the book. I'm out." Okay, so there's 2 things that old Sarge controls. I control a known database and an unknown database. Any of you guys that have ever done any advertising, retargeting, and remarketing, right? Acquisition of these customers comes from when we now have some type of tracking script and the ability to remarket and retarget to you or anybody else on any social platform, and also utilizing other forms like geofencing and OTT. When we go ahead and start doing remarketing and retargeting on some of these channels, we get visibility, impressions, viewers. I don't know who you are, and you don't have the ability to go ahead and thumbs up it. When you put information out there onto social, and if you do decide to go ahead and get personal so that people know you on a more intimate level, get it out there. All right. Just like Nick went ahead and said, he didn't know if these people wanted to go ahead and see the information that he was putting out about his personal journey. But as soon as he went ahead and came back after a short stint, he had a skyrocket as far as amount of people coming in. So the expectation here, ladies and gentlemen, is to put it out there and keep sharing, keep being relevant. Don't expect anything in return. Put it out there and it will come.
Well, I'm sorry, Jake. I didn't mean to cut you off. Finish that off.
I'm there. So what I'm saying, guys, is don't be your own barometer here in positive or negative thoughts about the content that you're sharing. When you see, oh, this post gets a lot of, interaction and this other one didn't so much. And then So you can't be in that emotional state. You have to be a soldier here, charge hard and put it out there. That's vitally important.
Well,
also, if you do want some interaction, start using probing questions. Do you ever have a friend, ladies and gentlemen, that you send some text messages to, and they just are shitty responding to you? Maybe a day goes by, 2 days, and you're like, WTF, I texted that person, and I know they got the text message, and I'm not good enough for a response.
Oh, by the way, guys, when Jake is telling this story, he's referring to me because he sent me a text the other day, and I did not respond to him for about a day. And I looked down at my phone. I'm like, gosh, damn it. And Jake, his response back to me when I responded back to him, and he was like, brother, I'm just checking on you. How you doing? And I felt like such an asshole.
That's why he's a good guy. That's why he's a guy. You know what I would have sent to you? Okay, I guess I'll just go fuck myself then. Right? That's one day later. Let me say,
Gene, what? I think you're Oh, Gene broke up. Oh gosh, it's horrible when that happens. Oh, he's back.
Let me clear a couple things up real quick. I want to clear a couple things up. First of all, Nick says, when he's going through the whole video thing, I don't think people want to see me with a shirt without my shirt on anymore. That leads the public to believe that I ever wanted to see you without a shirt on because you use the anymore. Never. Okay. I don't ever want to see you without a shirt on ever in my life. Okay. Can we just agree to that?
Can we see Nick laughing?
And two, I was laughing at you about killing your cat because first of all, listen, you say it like an absolute caveman, right? That's number one.
Did.
You put her to sleep. And
no,
also,
I did not.
Listen, no, did you ride over it with the car?
Dude, they put her to sleep. I pressed the plunger and I stopped the heart. I fucking killed my cat.
Jesus Christ. Did you ever watch Nate Bargatze? I've talked about him before. He's a comedian. He's a clean guy. And he talks about putting his dog down.
Oh.
And he's like, we had to put our dog down last week. And he's like, there wasn't anything wrong with her. I'm just really busy. And that's what I was thinking about when you were talking about it. I'm like, you're just horrible. So selfish. Yeah.
That's horrible. Nick is on mute right now, and he's just like bowed his head. Like,
my dog is barking downstairs. That's why I've been on mute. I'm gonna put her to sleep
with lots of treats and lots of walks, right? Yes,
of course.
But I mean, yeah, I do say barbarically, and the reason why is because it's an authentic thing, and I would love to show. Well, I'll just show you guys.
Oh boy,
Gene, you did this. Gene, you did.
I know. I'm sorry, Jay.
This is where the cats live now. See them? They have their toys and everything else behind them. You stirred up a monster, my friend. So I no, not on this one. You can't. No.
I think you've cried on the show about 8 times, and it's always about putting the plunger on the cat.
Oh, dude,
who says plunger? Also, like, what does that even mean?
That's because of what they call it. I watch medical shows. It's a plunger. Anyways, we're gonna move past this. Shut up, Gene.
Greg, can I be honest with you? I fucking love you, man. I really do. I really do love you.
See, the funny thing is, Gene and I are laughing. Nick's sitting there going like, "These guys are idiots," and Jake's sitting there going like, "Why am I associated with these?"
Yeah,
idiots? Right. Like, how is my name in this? Okay, anyways. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this thing up. We're at 43 minutes on the show. Let's do final takeaways in regards to telling honest, truthful stories. I mean, obviously, you guys have been making fun of me. We've been making fun of each other. What would be the number one thing? And I'm just gonna go from the bottom to the up to the right. So, Gene, I'm gonna start with you, then to Nick, then to Jake. What is something that you would tell somebody to stop being afraid of being their authentic self? Because we all have this incredible human essence and we hide it because we're afraid of being seen. But yet one of my most favorite sayings is this, and this is something I put on every single one of my emails, and I'm going to read this to you guys really quickly because it was such an inspirational thing for me that I wanted to get you guys' take on it. This is how it goes. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens most of us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children. So, as if, this is a very small writing. So, as if in some of us and in all of us, we show our light, we shine completely and unconditionally. Give other people the permission to shine, and you are going to give them the ability to be liberated. And when I read that, every single time, I get tingles, because I mean, that is something like, when you really think about the words that are in that comment, if we do not show up as our authentic selves, if we do not stand strong, if we do not charge hard, then what is the person next to us going to do? They're going to shrink. So stand up, ladies and gentlemen. Go hard in a positive, good, beautiful, powerful way, and go out there and change the world and have fun. So, Gene, thoughts on that?
Yeah. I don't read the Bible that often, but I have to imagine that was in one of the books. No, I was going to say Proverbs 6:18.
Room for improvement. Room for improvement.
Yes, there is room for there. Yeah.
We need that clip from the Sarge. Room for improvement. That needs to be my.
We could use that as like a what do you call it? Like
Cue that up.
Here's what I think. I think that everybody that's watching this and everybody on this panel all has things that other people can benefit from. And if you are holding back on those things because of your own ego and because of the fact that you don't like something about yourself, you're doing those people a disservice. Mm-hmm. So what I mean by that is that people want to see what's going on in your world, and it's a lot easier to do that now. Like in the past, you had to have phone calls with people and talk to them one-on-one. You have a broadcast mechanism now where you can show people what's going on. I mean, look, not everybody likes you. And I know that about myself, and I'm okay with that. I'm 46. I know that the people that don't like me have no ability to pay my bills or take care of my kids. And so if they go away because they don't like something that I offer, I don't miss them. I'm okay with that. And that's a confidence level that comes over time, I think, because I realize that there are people in my circle that actually value me as a human, that value me as a father and a husband and all these other things. And if I can share a little bit of those thought processes and that happiness with other people, and they take one thing from it, I did my job, right? But if I'm worried about what everybody thinks about me all the time and what they're going to say about me, and I keep that shit to myself, there's no benefactors to that. So I mean, just try it. You'll be surprised. You're always going to get the hater, right? Like I always say, just think about some of the biggest people out there, the guys like Gary Vee and the guys, Grant Cardone. You know how many haters those people have? Joe Rogan, his inbox is filled with haters. And I love listening to Rogan because Rogan's like, just don't read the comments. He's putting his stuff out there. He knows that people are consuming it and they love him, but there's always that faction that hates it. If you don't have any haters, you're not doing something right? You're not exposed as you should be. So just give it a shot and see what happens.
Exposed as you should be. So many funny comments on that one. But I mean, it's totally true. If you don't have haters, you're not doing something that's powerful. 1000%. Nick, what's your take on this?
So, listen, social media is a party, right? If you treat social media like a party and you think about it in terms of, okay, if I was to go to an actual party of 100 people are going to be there, you wouldn't expect to go to a party where 100 people are at and make 100 new friends. You would find the handful of people that resonate with you, and you would talk to them and you chat with them, and you might get their contact information and continue the conversation later. The biggest fear is trying to be all things to all people. And so because it's public, because it's on video, because you can't take it back, you have this fear of like, oh my gosh, everybody has to like me. Not the case. Find your tribe, as the Sarge says. He has a very strong tribe, the Wolf Pack, right? I think our show, the listeners who follow us are all resonate with us. So the recurring listeners are part of our tribe. It's because you resonate with what we say, and we don't have to be all things to all people. And that's fine. There's enough real estate business to go around. There's enough marketing business to go around. There's enough money in this world to make everybody infinitely happy. You just have to find your people, and it's all about connecting and being human. And you can do that through social media. All social media does is help you amplify that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's no different. Just be yourself, find the people, your database, right. And just help them out. Continue to give them value.
God, I love you, Nick. Jake, what's your final thoughts, my friend?
Final thoughts for the world. What should I think about and say here? All right. It's important to understand that you are in a service business. If you are not being of service to your prospective customers or your past customers, by sharing who you are and sharing the knowledge that you have and making very strong educational suggestions and pointing people and guiding them towards the truth of the situation, you're doing a disservice to them and everybody else around you. So I would urge everybody to get involved. Be bold, be blessed, be unstoppable. Let your voice be heard and be of service.
God bless you all. I love it, man. So there's a couple of things that I want to talk about real quickly. And gentlemen, thank you for asking my final thoughts. I really appreciate
we were scared to do that, Greg, after the whole plunger thing.
Hey, shut up.
Dean, that's my fault. Room for improvement.
Room for improvement. So the one thing I really want to stomp on here is being unstoppable and empowering other people as well as they empower you. A lot of the stories you're going to be able to tell when it comes to these videos and everything else on social media and so on and so forth is because you don't stop. The person who loses is the person who stops. If you don't stop, you don't lose. Guaranteed 1,000 fucking %. So test the theory. If you want to lose weight, stop working out. See how that fucking works for you. Nick, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the general public. Because you've done such an amazing job. You've inspired me to lose weight. I've lost 15 pounds in the last couple of months based upon what I watched you do. That's not a joke.
Love it.
It's not as significant as what you've done, but it's something that I have achieved, right? So everybody has a different level.
It's significant to you. You're already downplaying it.
That's my point. Everybody has a different level, right? The other thing is that, guys, go out there and do something that you love today. Literally love. Like, I go to the dog park. I love the dog park. I love sitting in my pool in my spa. I went out to my spa this morning and I met a gentleman, and he and I were laughing about conspiracy theories and just our HOA and just bantering, right? At the end of the conversation, I got out because we built a relationship. He sent me a text message. He is a real estate investor. He wants to buy multiplex, properties in San Francisco. I have one that's not on the market right now. So he and I are going to do something. So, as the Sarge would say, be unstoppable in everything that you do in life, because once you do that, you're going to inspire other people to be unstoppable. And that can be an infection in a positive way. And if we all start taking... Why are you doing time
out? Why did that work? You didn't hop into that spa and say, I'm a fucking real estate agent. Look at me.
No, the reason I did it is that he and I started talking about crazy shit. And he asked me, I asked about him. He asked about me. And we just started riffing and, chatting and laughing and joking and everything else. And we built a relationship, a very thin relationship because it's our first time talking. But that's my point, guys and gals. Everyone's listening to this and watching this. You walk with such power that you don't even understand right now. Once you understand the infinite power that you have, you can change lives on epic levels by purely having a conversation. Now, I've told this story several times on this podcast, and I will cry when I say this, so shut up, all of you. Gene is dying. Why are you going to laugh about shit, motherfucker?
I think it's great because I know that was directed straight at me.
Oh, totally at you. So I have a friend of mine, and she was in she lives in San Francisco, and she was on a trolley ride down to the ferry building for lunch with a friend, and she sat next to this lady, and this lady they started having a conversation, and during this conversation, they just became buddies, and it was nice. And my friend, said, "You know what? Forget about it. You know what? I'm blowing off my other friend. You and we're going to lunch. I want to know more about you." And this other lady goes, "Wow, you want to take me to lunch?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'll take you to lunch. I'm like, let's go become better friends, yada yada." And a couple weeks later, the gal called my friend back, and she said, "You don't know this, but I was on the way to kill myself today."
That's crazy.
And because of that one conversation, it saved her life. One. Every time. I can't. That story kills me. Here's the thing.
God works in good ways, my friend.
He does. And guys and gals, go out there. Be powerful. And in Sergeant Wolf's words, be unstoppable. Bring value. Show love. Tell everybody who you are. And never stop. Gentlemen, I need 3 colors. Jake, color for the bow on the show.
I'm going to go with ivory today.
Okay, we have ivory.
Straight from his tower.
All right. Exactly. He's sitting on the top of it. Nick, what's your color for the bow on the show?
Oh, the ivory fucking tower. I love it. I'm going nipple pink because I'm taking my shirt off once again, my friends. The nipples are out.
I don't even know. Oh.
It's called a callback in comedy.
Okay, nipple pink.
Yeah.
And Gene, how are you going to follow nipple pink?
Butthole brown.
And by the way, if you have brown nipples, that's okay. We love you too.
Yeah, that's true. Look at Jake.
Room for improvement, ladies and gentlemen. Room for improvement.
I think we should come up with something that's just an RFI. RFI. Can I just say RFI? Room for improvement.
No, we're taking that. We're taking that soundbite. I'm queuing up a keyboard right here on my left hand, and
that'll be amazing.
Oh my God. Okay, you guys absolutely kill me.
The worst part is you got to repeat it.
I know. I wrote it down. And God knows how that's going to go.
Can we record this?
Well, it is recorded. All right. So here we go, guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening to the show. We truly appreciate you. We literally love every single one of you. We want to bring value to every single person that listens and watches this show. If you guys enjoyed Jake Wolf, Mr. Nick Sakis, and Mr. Gene Volpe, please, guys, reach out to them and get into kind of what the business that they're selling. It's a tremendous opportunity. I love these 3 men just because they are awesome humans. But for the bow on the show, we have the ivory tower color. We have the nipple pink, I believe. Thank you, Nick, for that one. And then we have, what was the other one?
Brown.
Butthole brown on the show. So, guys, that is a disturbingly weird bow tie on the show. Thank you so much. Tag us, guys. Give us a 5-star, not a 2-star review on every single place you guys watch and listen to podcasts. Helps other people get and listen to what we're putting out there. We love you to pieces. And until next time, peace out, ninjas. We gone.